How many photos should you deliver from a full wedding day? 400, 800, 1,000, few thousand? I asked a bunch of my fellow wedding photographers on Instagram from all around the world, and the answers were actually all over the place. So in this video, I'll break down what's kind of normal or average and how to find your own sweet spot. If you are new around here, my name is Magic. I've been shooting destination weddings for over 13 years. And for the last 4 years, I've been working on this YouTube channel, talking cameras, lenses, and wedding photography. Subscribe if this is your jam. Let's start with the numbers from my Instagram audience. The majority of folks fall between 700 to 1,000 photos. We've got few outliers delivering less than 500, and then couple on the other side of the spectrum delivering 1,500 plus photos. And I think we can definitely break it down into 3 categories this way, like all tied to actually how you photograph, how you call, how you edit, and how you present your work. So first group would be low volume photographers. So between 300 and 600 photos delivered. These are often photographers who care a lot about curation and the storytelling aspect of their work. Mostly, I would say documentary style, but in that old school kind of crafting the perfect reportage way. Many of them also come from a film background where like every click had a value, and the sets of the photos that they deliver are highly curated. The order of the images, the flow, it's all intentional, and not every photo has to be a banger. It's more about the set as a whole than just one image. When I got married in 2009, what I received was a set of 100 curated photos. They were edited differently with layers in Photoshop and all of that. And then there was another set of like few hundred lightly edited ones, just like a color and exposure corrected. I don't see that dual delivery approach much anymore these days, but I do feel like still a lot of photographers do embrace the low volume and high curation method. And the decision for these photographers often comes with this approach of like, I will pick for my brides so they'll see like the best of the best of the best of the images, so they don't see much there's no much repetitions, there's not much of a choice for a couple. Photographer is making that choice, but it's making that choice based on his artistic instinct. Then we have a bunch of these mid-range photographers between like that fall between 600 and 1,000 images. And this is the most common range for a full day single shooters, and when I personally land as well. I'll break that down how I do it in a minute. But first, I feel like this number, it used to be 600 to 800, and it's gone up to like kind of 800 to 1,000 or like up to 1,000. There's a few reasons why. One, cameras now nail focus more often. Since switching to mirrorless, I personally get way more keepers than I did back in my DSLR days. Two, clients expect more. Not just like the key moments, but also the details, flowers, tables, decor. That's all became a bigger part of what we deliver as our service. And that word service, I feel like it's a key word here, because in my opinion, that first approach is more of an artist mindset, creating a work of a photographic storytelling, while the second mid-range approach is more client service oriented. It can be both too, don't get me wrong, it's not one or the other. But if my clients choose a beautiful Italian villa, of course I take a tons of photos of that, because that's not normal place for them to, be. And they choose specific flowers, custom table decor. Absolutely, I feel it's the part of my job to document those details. The same goes for group photos. Some weddings I take between 50 to 100 group photos. And in general, you can say that like from like a 10 to 12 hour wedding day, delivering up to 1,000 images means between 60 to 100 photos per hour. And honestly, I still think that this kind of set can be well curated. Not too many repetitions, still artistic, but also delivering what's expected. Also, I truly believe that simple photos gain value over time. So a basic shot of someone's ankle that might get rejected because it's not artistic, it's not cool, it's not a good moment, might be the last professional photo of that person, and that makes it actually priceless. So one tip I personally recommend for this mid-range like mindset delivery you can create a separate highlight set of around 150 to 200 photos that can become your curated story, the best of the best in the specific order with the intention, so you can keep your artistic flow going, and then the rest of the photos are like in the rest of the gallery. That way you get the best of both worlds. A beautiful set that you're proud of and a full gallery that covers everything that's meaningful and that your clients will enjoy for years to come. I also use that highlight set to create a slideshow and pin it at the top of my gallery in PicTime. So I have like slideshow and then I have highlights, because in my opinion, it's much easier for couples to share with their friends and family like a set like this, because let's be honest, who wants to scroll through 1,000 plus photos except the bride and groom and the family? So like the random guests, they don't care about like big number of images. They want to see themselves in the gallery. So there's like few ways to do it. Like PicTime, that is not the sponsor of this video, but they sponsored this channel multiple times. They have this feature that you can just search for the specific people. So there's a way for your clients to share a parts of the gallery with a certain people. And in my opinion, like creating that slideshow or like highlight scene in that gallery makes it a perfect thing to share. And then we have high volume photographers. There are some that do deliver 1,500 images, 2,000 images, sometimes 3,000 images. So this category, I don't think it really existed a few years ago. It's kind of deliver everything that's properly lit and in focus. So I don't personally do this, but I see the appeal. Some clients just want everything, every possible angle, every version of every portrait. Like I've had brides even, I delivered like 10 portraits and they would be like, oh, do you have maybe one more where like this, but a different one? So there are clients like this. And I feel like usually this is done by more than one person. If it's like one or like team of 2 photographers, for example, with a fast-paced shooting style. And these galleries are massive. A bit repetitive, maybe, but they give couples a lot of options. They give couples what they want. And in this era of AI editing, blazing fast cameras and huge memory cards, like it's totally possible and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just the workflow that you need to figure out, and you can do it and you will for sure find clients for it. At the end of the day, I think that the key is to communicate clearly and make sure expectations are aligned, meaning what you deliver and what your clients expect. So you don't want a couple expecting 1,000 photos and only getting 300 and then messaging you like, hey, do you have more? So what I recommend is having 3 numbers in mind. The first number is a guaranteed number, the one that you put in your contract. Yes, your contract, you need to have a contract with your clients as a wedding photographer. So this is your safe zone. I personally guarantee 500 photos from a 12-hour wedding day. I communicate that to the clients. This is the guaranteed number. There's not going to be less images than that. So even if everything goes to shit, this is the number of images you go. Things, they can go sideways at a wedding day. Once my bride fell on the dance floor, lost a tooth, and left for hospital. The party ended. People cried. Not ideal for a high photo count because there was nothing happening. Sometimes it's just like a reception that it's just a dinner and there's no dances, nothing happens. Then I deliver less photos, but I still deliver at least 500. Then the second number is the communicated number in consultation. So during the call, I say there will be no fewer photos than 500, but typically I deliver between 600 to 800. So I tell them that from like a regular wedding day with getting ready, with bridesmaids, with portraits, with ceremony, with cocktail hour, with reception, with dance floor, I typically will deliver 600 to 800 photos. But then number 3, the third number is the reality, the number of photos I deliver, which is the number I never tell to my clients. And it's usually between 800 to 1,000. So they don't know this upfront. This is kind of a surprise for them that there's more photos that I tell them that I typically deliver. And then when I send the gallery, I kind of frame it as a bonus. So I say like, oh, the wedding was so amazing. I actually ended up with even more photos for you. There's also a business model where you can upsell the extra photos above the guaranteed number. So for example, you guarantee 500, you deliver 2,000 watermarked and let them choose and pay extra. And some photographers, they crush it with this approach, but it does take a strong sales mindset, I believe, and the right system and workflow for it. So from what I've seen, It's still slightly less common and harder to sell up front, especially when couples are comparing offers, because like if someone is, offering 1,000 photos for free and the other is offering 500 photos and then 500 for additional $1,000, you kind of lose that comparison battle of your offer. One thing I didn't mention yet is black and white photos. I personally don't deliver both color and black and white version of each photo. I think that just kind of bloats the gallery and makes it harder to enjoy, but that's my personal opinion. But I do include black and white versions selectively. So, and when I feel like it actually adds something, usually it's for either emotional moments like hugs, tears, or photos with distracting colors or messy lighting where black and white will help to clean things up, or those shots that I have like a bunch of photos from the same moment and I just want some of them to look differently so my clients can choose. So instead of duplicating everything, I use it intentionally. Maybe 5 to 10% photos are black and white. That said, I know many photographers do it differently. They will deliver both versions of every image, color and black and white, which doubles the image count instantly in the gallery, or everything they turn into black and white, they will also deliver in color. So there's like a bunch of approaches here. There's no right or wrong here, just different styles. For me, I'd rather keep the gallery clean, focused and easy to browse with my scenes, with the highlight scene and so on. But on the other hand, giving clients both can be seen as more client-oriented service. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's not about hitting some magic number. It's about telling the full story in a way that serves your couple and still feels true to your style, the way you photograph, the way you call, the way you edit, the way you curate your work. Just make sure, whatever path you choose, to communicate that well to your clients so there's no misunderstandings. If you want to dive deeper into how I approach my full wedding days, check out my full wedding breakdown. And if you want a personal feedback, sign up for my personal feedback session. They're both 30% off right now with the code DELIVER30. Link is in the description. And to get a teaser of my full wedding day breakdown, watch this video.